From the police state to tectonic plates, Dutch Sense and Tattoo take the temperature of tyranny on Freedom Frequency 1871, coming to you live now.
This is America. We have a founding fathers that wrote a constitution that we haven't lived by in 142 years.
Were they serious when they said they planned on owning the weather by 2025?
And if you're not pissed off, there's something wrong with you right now.
Have you guys seen what's going on outside your door lately? Need I remind you?
This is America. Are y'all going to allow it to be Russia?
Welcome into Freedom Frequency. It is January 24th, 2014. This is Dutch Sense, and I've got Tattooed on the line, and we have a guest host on the line as well, and that is Chrissy Sumer. Chrissy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Awesome. Well, you know, guys, it's been another week, and we've been promoting the show all week long and trying to get the word out on the news that we've been sharing. And it's just been it's been a pretty wild week, a lot of things going on in the news that we can talk about. But, you know, first things first, I'd like to give Tat the floor for just a second. We're going to be discussing something that's been going on for us, specifically Tattooed and I, over the last several months. And for Chrissy, she's kind of experienced the same thing. And we're going to be discussing this tonight, censorship. The overall censorship that's been happening on the different social media sites and the reasons, I think, behind what's playing into that. You know, the topics that we're covering that are leading us to be unpopular, so to speak. You know, we're trying to share alternative news. You know, a lot of you guys know that we're sharing news that's hard to find. Sometimes it's news you'll never find unless you hear it from somebody who's searching it out, like us. And so, you know, with Tat, that covers 1871, that covers police state, that covers constitutional and republic law. With Chrissy, that covers SERCO and hard to find news. She's finding all these robotic stories and just stuff that we can never find. And, of course, you guys know with me, it's like weather modification, earthquakes, and just kind of strange science news that I tend to dig up. And combined, what that's doing, what we're all running into, is when we're trying to share our news, that I keep saying it, a brick wall. Literally, it's like we're putting our information up and then it is just not going anywhere. I try and figure out solutions, possibly, to fix that problem, remedies to the situation, and give you examples. All three of us have great examples of how we've put stuff out and have just been met with total resistance on the topic that we're covering. You know, first things first, man, you want to share with the audience just, I mean, you know, I know it would take 2 hours you could sit here and tell us, but just give us a couple examples recently of what's been happening to you. You were telling us last week about Google and how you weren't coming up in search. Has that changed at all? Has anything changed since last week?
Nope. Google search has still not showing up. You can type in Tattoo 1009. You find every YouTube channel I got, my Facebook, my Twitter, my everything, except for my main YouTube channel. And I'm a partner on it. And today in the news, along with that, Chrome has got a recording system that when you click on the little search bar next to it, it has a microphone. You click on it and you agree to it, and then it actually records everything you said. I made a video on it today and a web page on it as well. And it's everything that's going on is just out of this world about all of this crap. I mean, it's really bad. They took tonight. We promoted the show, or I promoted the show, and Chrissy promoted the show, and you did it too, of course. your video got a few hundred views, and mine and Chrissy was both stuck at 15 views most all day today. It just started going up here just a little while ago. And what made it funny is we were looking at it, and then we saw someone make a comment from Google Plus, which was Max, Max, and he Google Plused it and shared it, and it didn't. We refreshed the page and it didn't count it. So then we got another person to do it as well, and it didn't show again. It didn't show for 10 or 15 minutes before the view actually showed up. And then the other day I was attacked with thumbs down because I put up a video explaining this stuff to everybody. I got 32 thumbs down. I only had 9 views. How can that be possible? It can't, unless somebody was really playing with it. But, you know, I mean, I'm not here to bash it or anything like that, but, you know, it's not free speech as we know it, folks. No way, shape, nor form is it anywhere near free speech as we know it. Chrissy, she gets the same thing. I know that she don't get no views either. And, you know, someone that's got, like me, I got almost 18,000 subscribers, and I can't get 500 to 600 views. And Dutch, he's got almost 80,000 subscribers, and he only gets 5,000 views, and some of them are more, but most of the time it's only like 5,000 views. I mean, why is everybody trying to censor our radio show and our channels? Is it because maybe the information that we are trying to got a lot of truth, more truth to it than anybody else's, or is it they just don't want to really hear about the Act of 1871 that's the really the main focus, in my opinion, to get the word out? I mean, we can't do anything until we got enough people to know about it. And the way it's going, it's hard to get that information out. And the more you push it and the harder you try, the worse it gets. And, you know, everybody that's on YouTube that does any videoing, you need to recommend the Act 1871, abolishing it, talk about it, get people involved the best way you know how. I mean, that's the only way for any of us to ever be free. And the way things are going right now, it looks like we're going to be not free very much longer. If some of the things that has been coming out on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and before it's news and all the social medias that are out there talking about Russia being full of, not Russia, but Alaska full of Russian troops and all that stuff that's going on, we really got to buckle down, help each other, push the information, push your friends' information. If you don't totally 100% agree with it, well, it doesn't really necessarily mean that it's not true. Just you may not know all of the facts of everything that's going on there. But some of it, you pretty much know most of the time when someone is, blowing up your skirt tail. You know what I mean? I know y'all know what that means. Mm-hmm. So, that's where it rolls up in a nutshell to me. How about you, Dutch?
I think you're right. You guys, a lot of people might not know because they go to their job, they get their stuff delivered to them in their inbox or on their phone, and they think everything's great, and they think we're just not putting stuff out. I'll give you a recent example. This past week, Tat's talking about a couple different stories there. We'll use the first story he mentioned, which is just today, the Google Chrome story, where literally we're talking about your browser. A lot of people using Google Chrome on different devices, especially mobile devices and Androids and that kind of stuff. And there's a setting that allows them to snoop, to listen. And it's been brought to the attention of Google, and Google didn't do anything about it. This was several months ago that this actually went down. Since then, since they were made aware of it, they didn't fix it. The person then made a video showing the flaw, showing that indeed the microphone and possibly camera that's in your device, in everybody's devices now, were snooping. They were constantly on, that anybody could listen at the other end. And that's a huge deal. So Tat shares that, and what does it get? It gets like a couple hundred views, no shares, and it's good information. It's linked, it's sourced, it's something that we all need to consider, and it's something that affects every one of us, because you might not have a Google Chrome device, but what if the person sitting next to you does, and it's recording and listening to everything that you're doing, okay? That's a concern. It really is. It's something that should be shared. And it didn't. It didn't get shared, even though we put it out and the community is presented with that information. They're not doing anything with it. And it's because of what I think is, I mean, I'm not trying to scold anybody because I do it too, complacency. It's waiting for it to be brought to you as opposed to going and searching it out. So I'll go check my subscription feed on YouTube. I'm like, let's go see what's going on. Go check my subscription feed. Go check it. And I kind of stop there. I'm guilty of doing it too, which is not surfing through everybody's channels, seeing if they're putting stuff out. And lo and behold, when you go and check, next thing you know, you see that, you know, your buddy who you talk to every day has put out 4 videos today, but none of them came into your box. And that means you're not being allowed to be shared. And if it's not in your box and you're subscribed up and you're subscribed up to your feed and you're supposed to get it, and then you take that video that didn't get shared to you and you copy it and go put it on Facebook to 30,000 subscribers like I do, and you see that a thumbnail doesn't come up and you can't watch the video on Facebook, even though there's nothing controversial in it, really, no grotesque displays of violence or vulgarity or anything. It's just a news story showing you that you can be snooped on by Google Chrome, and there's no thumbnail that I can play. And then, if there is a thumbnail, I start getting messages down below saying, why did you turn off the share button on Facebook? Why can't I share this? I say, I don't know. Well, who controls Facebook, YouTube, Twitter? Who's controlling all those sources? And we brought this up last week, but we never got an answer as to who could be doing this. And I would say it only goes back to one place. For me, the censorship, really, you'd think it would have began with Harp. But really, it began with my meetup with Tat in the electronic world on 1871, of all things, right? I mean, before that, I'm getting thousands of views, getting all kinds of exposure, good and bad, on weather modification. But as soon as I touch 1871, next thing you know, I'm a pariah. Next thing you know, they're after you. And Tat, I didn't believe you. Even though you're my friend, you know, you think people are exaggerating. You know, I mean, you know how it goes. You think I'm exaggerating when I'm talking about helicopter flyovers and stuff. I mean, people hear that and they just kind of file it away as it is happening to you, but it may be something else. And now that it's happening to me, and I'm sharing my my radio show, this should be a big deal. My viewers for years told me to do this. Well, here I come with the radio show. I share it, share the whole announcement on it, and it gets 1 share. 30,000 people on my Facebook page, and I get 1 share. It's not because FPRN isn't popular. Most people don't even know who FPRN is. So that happens over and over again to me and to you guys with your 16 views today on your announcement for your show. Well, what does it mean? It means that there's censorship, real censorship, like real-life censorship happening to us. And if it's happening to us, well, it's definitely happening to the smaller people, and that's why we're not hearing about the smaller people, the smaller startups, the people who are trying to report on stuff, bring news to us. And, you know, it becomes frustrating for people like me and for Tat, and I'm sure for Chrissy, and I won't speak for her. She can speak for herself on what she's ran into in SERCO. Wait till you hear about SERCO, guys. This is crazy. I mean, you think that weather modification is big, and Tat's talking about the corporation in 1871 with the government corporation. What if I told you that there's a corporation that runs the world, literally, that has tentacles that reach across all parts of society into every single large company around the world? You've never heard of it. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. SERCO, SERCO. Partnered up with Sodexo and a couple other corporations. But this has led to serious censorship and problems in real life. For Chrissy, let's say, or for me and the weather mod stuff, huge real life problems. And with TAT in 1871, big time real life problems.
Thank you.